You're fully protected. Can you proceed, please?
Mr. Speaker, I would wish that my brother would be able to go and take the Hansard of this House, because what I'm saying is factual. When Senator Boni Halwale, and I'm very happy to see him being proposed here to sit in this committee, and trust me, Mr. Speaker, this House will decide. And the beauty of this process going through our committee is because the Senate will be given a second chance, to be able to have a bite on the cherry, Mr. Speaker. Because the moment it goes to the committee, it will also be...
Honorable Senators, order.
You
will make those points when you're debating.
I'm solely moving.
Proceed.
And I want to convince you.
Reserve your comments to the contribution.
Mr. Speaker, the beauty of me moving is that you have the liberty of saying yes or no. You can actually be able to say, I do not support the committee
Proceed,
which will be the proper. So, Mr. Speaker, for me to be able to make out my case, I want to persuade senators. You represent 47 counties. You serve in committees. When you sit in these committees, most of the time you go through volumes of documents to be able to interrogate governors. If you do not take the time to be able to look at the evidence properly, you will be doing this House a disservice. Mr. Speaker, I sat on this same chair when we were removing Governor Mike Mbovi Songo. And on that particular day, Mr. Speaker, the senators did not even have a chance to interrogate the governor who was being removed. The two lawyers made their cases there, and then after that, we went on camera. After going on camera, we came back in and we voted. I want to beseech these members, honorable members who are here. I'm not discussing on the merits or demerits of the case. All I'm saying is that I'd like to persuade you to consider giving these 11, Mr. Speaker, can you please protect me from the back and forth shouts?
Senator Cherargei, you only speak through the chair, so don't engage your colleague directly.
Mr. Speaker, I think we're all grown-ups.
Just proceed, Senator Ledama.
So, Mr. Speaker, I want to plead with you that ultimately the 47 delegations will make their choice. They will decide whether to impeach, to confirm the impeachment of the governor, or whether to give the governor another second chance to continue. The only thing that I want to persuade you today is that for the history of this nation, and also for the importance of this House, whenever you point a finger, remember there is a finger which is pointing right back at you. And the impeachment process is a very painful process to go through. And it is important for us to know the consequences and also the unintended consequences. I don't really care how anyone votes. I think all of us will vote based on their own conscience. What I care is on the process of coming up to that vote. And this is why I want to persuade you that a committee will be able to give you and yourself and myself an opportunity to read a report that 11 distinguished members of this House would have already carried out an investigation on. They'll be able to tell you whether those charges have been substantiated or they have not been substantiated. Number two, Mr. Speaker, anything we do in this House goes on record. I'm very happy to propose the committee way because of two reasons, so that I can be able to request my distinguished Senator Asigi to second. When we go through the committee, it will not be sitting here and listening to two lawyers. It will be our colleagues telling us that we went through the documentation and we found A, B, C, and D. And based on this, these are our observations and these are our recommendations. That is issue number one. Number two, Mr. Speaker, it will also give us an opportunity to be able to show Kenyans and the world who are watching that the Senate, even though it is not a court of law, can be able to carry out the functions. Please, let me finish, and then you can call your point of orders.
Senator Cherargei, what is your point of order? The very last point of order on this matter.
Mr. Speaker, I hope it's not the last for the day. I have several. Mr. Speaker, under Standing Order 105 of the Standing Orders and Standing Order 80, is it in order for Senator Ledama Olekina, the mover of motion, to mislead us and the public that when it goes to special committee, it is the only time the feedback is only through our members, yet he knows very well as a senior ranking member that when a governor appears through plenary, he or she has an option of either representing herself or himself or through legal representatives, Mr. Speaker. Is it in order to mislead the country that the only point, as per Standing 105, Mr. Speaker? No, stop pointing at me. We are not in somewhere maandamano, my friend.
Senator
Stop pointing at me.
Senator Cherargei. Senator Fonandi. No, Senator Sifuna, it is only the chair who determines whether a point of order stands or is overruled. So you've made your point of order. Kindly take your seat.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Take your seat. Senator Ledama, proceed. That does not warrant being called a point of order. Just proceed and conclude.
Mr. Speaker, those are points of annoyance. Because, Mr. Speaker, I am not discussing the merits or demerits of the case. I'm only trying to demonstrate to my colleagues why I'm proposing the committee way. I want to plead with you to listen to me, give me an ear. Ultimately, you will make the decision. Because for me today, having been considering myself as a ranking member of this House, I've sat through maybe 4 or 5 impeachment processes. The reason why I'm suggesting to you that you should consider passing this resolution is because I have experience. Mr. Speaker, it will be upon the 47 delegations to make a decision on whichever way they want to deal with this matter. I've told you the advantages of a committee, and I've also told you the disadvantages of a plenary. The reason why I believe, and this is the point that I was trying to prosecute earlier, that a committee is which would be able to give the people of Meru and the governor justice, is because as we sit here, as per Article 125, we are sitting with the powers that we have.